Right now, businesses are facing a massive existential crossroad. In this explainer, we're diving into a complete reimagining of what a company actually is, extracting the exact blueprints revealed by Y Combinator on how to transition from a static, rigid organization into a fully autonomous, self-improving AI entity. No fluff, just the raw architecture of the future. Let's get into it. But right off the bat, you've got to answer one absolutely critical question. Are you just bolting AI onto a broken company structure? Really think about it. Are you actually overhauling your operations? Or are you just slapping a shiny new AI copilot onto legacy workflows and, hoping for the best? Because let me tell you, if you're just using AI as a glorified sidekick, you are missing the revolution entirely. Okay, let's dive into this. Historically, our economic units of value have been organized literally just like the Roman legions. Think about a Roman legion. You had a center of power projecting orders out across continents through these nested hierarchies, right? Using named individuals with specific spans of control. And honestly, in most modern companies, human beings are still acting as that exact same conduit for information flowing up and down the chain. But when Jack Dorsey was asked about this recently, he dropped a bombshell. He revealed that this underlying assumption that we just have to use hierarchically organized structures is completely obsolete. The new paradigm requires an AI-native organization, one built on recursive, intelligent loops, not human information relays. If you talk to people just a year ago about AI, they'd focus heavily on productivity, making engineers 20 to 30% more productive, adding co-pilots to workflows so they can ship more code. But I need to be crystal clear based on the source material here. Looking at AI simply as a way to make engineers 20 to 30% more productive is a fundamentally broken legacy way of thinking. As Pete highlighted when he broke down their internal strategy, that is literally just taking the old way of working and strapping a more powerful engine to it. It's a complete trap. Instead, we have to reimagine the company as a set of recursive, self-improving AI loops. In a recent breakdown, Deanna mapped out this exact 5-part architecture, and we need to extract it layer by layer. So layer 1 is the sensor layer. Basically, how does your company get information from the outside world? Think customer emails, support tickets, product telemetry. Then, how does it process that? Well, that leads us to layer 2, the policy layer, which dictates the rules and decides what actually needs human permission. Next up is layer 3, the tool layer. Stuff like Gary's code. These are deterministic APIs that allow the AI to physically query databases or check calendars. But how do we ensure it's actually safe? Enter layer 4, the quality gate. This is packed with evaluistic checks and human reviews for those high-risk actions. And finally, the ultimate piece, layer 5, the learning mechanism. The system interacts, finds out exactly where it failed, and loops right back to the top. And guys, this right here is the holy grail. When Diana detailed successfully connecting all 5 of those layers, she pinpointed this exact state. The company starts to self-improve even when you're sleeping. The ultimate goal here isn't just making faster humans. No, it's building a system that runs every single step of that loop with minimal or absolutely zero human intervention, perpetually optimizing itself in the background. So let's see how this builds out in a real-world scenario by looking at the exact progression of Y Combinator's internal agents. Phase 1 was a simple database query agent. Basically a deterministic tool to ask basic questions like, hey, when did I last hold office hours with this company? Then Phase 2 got smarter. They built a RAG intro agent that could pull up 5 relevant founders in petrochemicals using different database views. Pretty cool, but that was still just last year's sidekick model. Pete revealed the real aha moment actually came in Phase 3. They deployed a monitoring agent that looked at every single query across YC, identified when queries failed, diagnosed exactly why, wrote the fix using models like Codex 5.5, submitted a merge request, had another agent review it, and then deployed it overnight. When a human asked the exact same question the next morning, it worked flawlessly. No human touched the code. The result of structuring an organization this way is absolutely staggering. We're seeing hardcore metrics shift drastically right now. Companies are arriving at demo day generating 5x more revenue per employee compared to just 18 months ago. Think about that for a second. That is a 500% increase in output per human, simply by replacing legacy hierarchy with AI-native loops. And this trend is fully expected to carry straight through to Series A and Series B. This completely changes the operational mandate. The new reality is this: burn tokens, not headcount. Very soon, businesses are going to be constrained by their token usage, not by how many people they can hire. Tracking who in your organization is token maxing, meaning they are experimenting to the absolute limit with this new intelligence, is the new directional metric. Now, sure, turning it into a strict leaderboard where people get fired or promoted could easily be gamed. But directionally, token usage tells you exactly which employees are adapting to the future. Because of this massive shift in coordination, the interview delivers this incredibly extreme stance. I think middle management is done. And they mean it. AI is fully capable of handling the coordination problem that middle managers used to solve. Moving forward, the most effective companies are going to rely on a two-role system. You've got ICs, individual contributors who are the actual builders and operators, and then you have named human directly responsible individuals, single named humans, not vague committees, who are absolutely accountable for getting things done. Middle management? It simply evaporates. But to actually replace that management layer with AI, you face a massive hurdle. How do you make an entire organization legible to AI? Because AI cannot optimize what it can't see. This means you must extract all that domain knowledge, all the know-how that's currently trapped in people's heads, buried in Slack messages, scattered in Notion docs, and hidden in partner emails. If it is recorded, it happened to the AI. If it was not recorded, to your company's intelligence, it simply did not happen. Now, what's truly staggering is the sheer scale required to achieve this legibility. Y Combinator started recording literally everything. Over just the last 3 months, they aggregated 2,000 hours of recorded office hours. Just try to picture that volume of raw, high-level business context. But here's the catch. You can't just pump 2,000 hours into an AI context window. You have to diarize it, synthesize it, and break it down into actionable breadcrumbs. And when Hodge was asked about the direct results of diarizing those 2,000 hours, his account was phenomenal. Over a single weekend, Hodge used this synthesized data to completely regenerate the YC user manual. He generated a 150-page, highly categorized manual covering everything from fundraising to co-founder disputes. And because it's AI generated directly from fresh, ground-level data, it is dramatically superior to the old manual written 5 to 10 years ago. And here is the true end state of making that data legible. You don't just read a 150-page manual like it's a textbook. You pump that living artifact right into an AI agent's context window. Suddenly, you have a super intelligent agent that possesses the combined self-improving wisdom of 16 YC partners at once. It's an up-to-date, living brain that incorporates every single new piece of advice month after month. So, tactically, what does this workflow actually look like for your internal operations teams? Well, here is the exact list extracted from the source. First, store all data preciously in Markdown. Never throw away emails or raw context. Second, treat internal software as entirely ephemeral. Third, use models like Codex 5.5 to one-shot simple internal dashboards to a very high level of quality, completely on demand. And finally, throw that software away and regenerate it monthly as the underlying models get smarter. The business context inside people's heads is the precious part. The software built on top of it, totally disposable. Which brilliantly illustrates our next point. What exactly are humans for in this new world? Think of it this way. You have the company brain in the center. That's all your data, emails, DMs, skills, and know-how. Humans now sit exclusively around the edge of this brain. They serve as the interface where the intelligence actually makes contact with high-stakes reality. For the next 20 years, humans are acquired for novel situations, complex ethical considerations, and high-emotion moments. Like, say, when a founder is going through a really messy dispute and breaking up with their co-founder. The AI handles the core, the human handles the edge. Okay, before we wrap, let's lock in the hard data with our core review. We covered intense ground today, so let's do a rapid-fire recall of the exact metrics extracted from the source. Ready? The outdated productivity goal, merely 20 to 30%. The new standard, 5x revenue per employee at demo day. The raw data needed to train the AI, 2,000 recorded hours over 3 months, distilled into a 150-page living manual. And the result? The synchronized wisdom of 16 YC partners, powered by tools like Codex 55 to generate completely disposable software. If you only remember one thing from this explainer, let it be today's takeaway. The true value of your company is no longer the software you use or build, but your entirely recorded, legible domain knowledge. Software is now ephemeral and disposable. Your unique business context is literally your only enduring moat. This brings us to the absolute most controversial claim from the source material. We heard the explicit stance that middle management is completely replaced by AI, shifting entirely to individual contributors and AI coordination. I want you to jump into the comments right now and debate this. Is this a genius design that removes bottlenecks? Or is it a catastrophic mistake just waiting to collapse under real-world pressure? Seriously, defend your position down below. And hey, while you're down there defending your stance, make sure to leave a comment to automatically receive our highly tactical tool list and the complete mind map for building these recursive AI loops in your own business. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep token maxing, and I will see you in the next one.